Hello, hello, my lovely friends, and welcome back to the channel. Here we have, hang on, I can't tell from this angle. Yes, I can. Lucy and Sophie are deep into their nap. It is very cold here today. It is, I don't know, I think it was -4 or -5 today. It was the coldest day that we've had since last winter. So, I opened up the back door, and the two of them were like, "Yee." And you know what is so crazy? This is not what the video is about, but bear with me here. I feel bad because the girls, every day the girls get up, and I know when they're asking to go up the back door, they're picturing. They're thinking that it's like July, right? So I can just tell when their little kitty cat faces, they're like, ooh. And then I open up the back door and the cold, it was snowing a little bit today and it rushes in and it's just complete this combination of absolute bewilderment and disappointment. They're like, what's going on? Like, hey. So I always feel a little bit bad. I try and warn them, but their English isn't that great. So anyhow, they're down here with me, which I quite love. I love winter because it means they're with me all day and we get to hang out and it's a lot of fun. But anyways, you're like, who are you? And the title says Winter Junk Journal, not cat time, Anyhow, in today's video, what I'm going to do is we're just going to hang out for a little bit and work in a journal that I made last night. And we'll talk about this when I turn the camera around. But it turns out that I always say I don't want to be the princess and the pea when it comes to junk journals, because I'm always like, or maybe it's more like Goldilocks. Maybe it's more like, ooh, this journal's not quite right. That's what it is. It's Goldilocks and the three journals. This journal is not quite, this journal's too big, this journal's too small, this journal's not quite right. Yes, sadly, my friends, I think we figured it out, that I am the Goldilocks of the junk journal community. Because I said I wasn't going to make a Christmas journal, because there wasn't enough time to work in a Christmas journal. And I was just going to continue to work in the Halloween journal until the end of the year. And in my defense, I did try that. It just didn't feel right. I don't know. I can't quite articulate it. I don't mind working with Halloween in the spring and in the summer, but I tried, but I couldn't do it. And once I got through maybe the second week of November, I just couldn't do it anymore. I was like, this doesn't feel right. And so I was sort of... I was avoiding the reality that I'm the Goldilocks of junk journals. So finally last night I was like, I need to make a video. And I've been putting this off a little bit in my brain, knowing, there's sort of that devil on your shoulder and then the angel on your shoulder. So I had these two conversations sort of going, which the one was like, go ahead, make a new journal. And then the other one was like, no, you said you'd work in this journal. You said this Halloween journal would be good to the end of the year. And then this other voice was like, you wanna. So here we are. I made a winter journal. It's nothing fancy. It took me no time at all to do. It's my favorite size, the 6 by 12. 6 by 12. So this is just scrapbook paper that I folded. And so I made it mostly with winter in mind. But we're going to do a little Christmas journaling today. So I thought, because I wanted to get started in it, and today is the 29th, and I really did want to have this started and ready to go for December. I cannot believe it's December. Like, can we talk about this? How did it get to be December? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's zoom, 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 It's just nuts that, although I have to say I got a lot done in November and I feel pretty good about November, but I just can't believe that December 1st is a Friday, right? Let me look. Yep. It is. So I wanted to make sure that I had this done, and we started doing some pages. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have a little chit chat and hang out. And Goldilocks here is going to work in her new junk journal. For now, my friends, this journal is just right. But let's see where we are in January when I'm ready to do a spring journal. Anyhow, I've got some stuff that I've printed out. I have some printables and digitals and things. Then I have these Simple Stories ephemera packs that I got from scrapbook.com. So we're going to open these up. They look pretty cute. I love Simple Stories. Like, seriously, I love Simple Stories, especially their vintage stuff. So we'll go through these packages and see what's in here. And then I just got some bits and bobs that I've printed out. A lot of these things are digitals that I used in the Christmas junk journals that I made to put on my Etsy shop. So I thought, well, I want some too, right? So, anyways, let me turn the camera around. I will stop babbling here, and we'll get right into it. So, give me 1 sec. Okay, pussycats, here we go. Here we go. Now, let me show you. Oh, wait, let me move this so that it doesn't make you seasick. I have to say, I really love this mat, but I don't use the grid as much as I thought I would. I don't know why. I don't. It's one of those weird things. And I also find that it makes me a little bit crazy if the grid looks like it's off, if it's not lined up properly in the camera. So at some point I would like to get something else to work on that doesn't have all of the lines on here. Because, I don't know, I would just like something a little bit different. And I'm not sure what that is. I haven't really looked, to be honest. But, yeah, this would make me crazy. And I'm pretty sure it would make you guys crazy too, because you'd be like, oh my God, straighten the mat. Just straighten it, right? So it'd be nice to have a mat that I didn't have to worry about if it looked like it was on camera properly. But anyways, I digress. I was going to say it's been one of those days. It hasn't really. I'm just in kind of a weird, goofy mood. So, yeah. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so, oh wait, this is not, I'm going to move the light here a little bit and see if that, okay, there we go. That's better. It was getting a little bit washed out. Okay, that looks good. So what I did was very quickly yesterday, I went through my stash of scrapbook paper, and I decided that I would use mostly blues and some greens, some whites, and some creams to put together this sort of makeshift last-minute winter / a little bit of Christmas junk journal. And we got some sort of grays in here as well. So I didn't cut any of this paper. This is just, some of it's just really sort of flimsy. I think this came from a dollar store pack. Flimsy paper. Some of it's the thicker cardstock, the 12 by 12 cardstock packs. And so I thought it might be kind of fun to work with these colors as the base. If I was going to make myself just a journal that was only for winter, I would use these same colors. And I have to admit, I did leave quite a bit of white space in here because I think what I will do is print out pages and just glue them in. So, you know, you guys know how I feel about covering over really nice scrapbook paper. I hate to do it. So this way I thought, okay, we've got a mix here. I've got quite a bit of blank space that I can do whatever I want with. And then here I have some nice scrapbook patterns as well to work with.
So, and I love polka dots, so I had to put some of that in there. I love woodland animals, so we had to have some of that in there. And then I didn't do anything fancy in the middle because, again, I was in a little bit of not so much of a hurry, but I was feeling quite inspired. I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're going to do. So I think, how many pages? And there's not very many, so we've got... This is a piece of vellum that I found this pack at the Goodwill years ago. And it's got all of the embossed glittery stuff on it. I thought this would just be really cute in the front. I don't think I'll actually put anything on it, but I thought it looked kind of wintry and snowy. So, okay, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, that was a little bit more than I thought. I thought I only put 17 in there. So the idea is that this will last me, hopefully, through Christmas and most of the winter. So let's see where we get. I also find that one thing I tend to do is I tend to make them too big. I have all these big ideas about what I think I'm going to put in them. I get super excited about the amount of paper that I want to include in the journal, and I almost never end up finishing them. So the one thing I really try and be more mindful of these days is just to err on the side of caution. Don't put so much paper in them, and just let's see where we get with this, right? So, and I would say it's half cardstock and half thinner paper, which is no big deal, except for, of course, the cardstock adds a lot of bulk, even before you get stuff in it. So, and then the cover is just really plain, because I think what I'll do is I will sort of collage it and decorate it sort of as we go through the days and weeks of December, January, and hopefully February. Because I was thinking about it today, and I think by the time I get to March, I'll be ready to do something a little more floral and pretty and spring-like, right? So that's it. And then we've got in here... So I have to admit, I don't think I've really done a video like this where I'm just kind of winging it, and I don't really have anything planned. So let's just see where we get with this. But I'm going to just quickly show you some of the... So these digitals are digitals. Most of these are digitals that I got on Etsy. And when I search for digitals on Etsy, it's usually, it would be Christmas vintage clip art is what I would, because I love vintage, right? And so we've got these things here. Am I okay? Yep, I am here. And then this is definitely Christmas vintage clip art. Then, of course, we all know how I feel about kitties, so there's going to be a ton of cats in this video. This is definitely Christmas vintage. I'm sorry, I don't remember all of the sellers. You know, to be honest with you, I buy an exorbitant amount of digitals. Like, it should probably be illegal. How many digitals I purchase. So, yeah, so I don't always have the name of the shop. Oh, those are all the same. But I tend to buy from a wide variety of sellers as well, because I like vintage, but I like different kinds of looks of vintage. This is going to be great on the side of a page. And then I like to do these things where I'll find images online of different linens. So, and then just print them out. I alter them a little bit in Photoshop and then print them out. And then sometimes I borrow vintage images from the internet. And yeah, so this is a good, ooh, I like to do this too. I like to cut out candles, especially in the winter time, and have these giant sort of images of candles. I think I only have this one red one for today. We got some Santa. So there's that. So that's some of what we're going to use. I've got some of the smaller bits and bobs here, tags. You guys know that I love numbers, so we'll be using some numbers. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Okay, so that's that. Then let's have a look-see at these simple stories. Now, I ordered these before Halloween, so I don't know what's left. But like I said, these came from scrapbook.com. And I'm not affiliated with scrapbook.com. Maybe I should try and be, because I love them. And to my Canadian friends, what I will say is scrapbook.com has very reasonable shipping to Canada. I'll put the link in the description box below. Not only do they have reasonable shipping, but they don't have a minimum order. So what I like to do is to avoid issues at the border, so that things don't get held up there and there isn't, you know, that the whole pain of bringing things across the border. I usually order about $30, $35 worth, $40 Canadian, and I find that it slips through the border, no problem. I mean, they put the customs form and everything on it, but it doesn't get held up. I don't find that they open them. And what was the other thing I was going to say? It takes about 2 weeks to get stuff. I think it comes from Kentucky. So as a Canadian who is always looking for interesting ephemera and paper and things like that, I highly recommend, if you can't find it in Canada, to check out scrapbook.com. Okay, so let's see. We've got some really nice bits and bobs here. Some holly. One of these days, I would like to plant a holly bush out front by my front porch. This is really cute. What is this one called? Simple Stories, Bits and Pieces, Simple Vintage, Dear Santa. And then this one is Layered Bits, Simple Vintage, Dear Santa. So what was the difference? Bits and Pieces and then Layered Bits. Okay, so this is Bits and Pieces. So yeah, I quite like these. And some of these, too, we'll be able to use for winter. I try and buy ephemera that is not necessarily only specific to just one holiday, if I can. That's pretty. There is a lot in here. This is great. I want to say this was $4.98, and there was a bit of a discount the day that I bought them. I really like all these like little buttons and things. These are fun. I tend to use these little bits of ephemera more than I think I would. So we got vintage candy cane. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that. Vintage candy cane, some more buttons and hearts. 24 cents, of course. More holly. Yeah, I would like to grow some holly. I think it would be a lot of fun. It's picky as all get out. You gotta watch. Okay. Very nice. I'm very happy with that. Okay, now let's have a look-see at this one quickly. And this is all the ephemera that I would have purchased for this year, because again, Christmas isn't my main holiday, as you know. Halloween gets all my money. Oh, that's fun. Those are cute. Oh, I like these tags. Okay, so this one is, again, layered bits. Aha, I see. So you can layer, right? You would put these in a pocket. Oh, I like this one a lot. That's super cute. Oh, and they are also layered. Oh my goodness. Okay, Captain Obvious. Here we go, Lisa. They're layered ephemera. Took me a minute to figure it out. Okay, wait a minute. Let's backtrack here. Okay, so we've got the layering here. And we've got our layers here. I love that with that's the playing card there. Sometimes, my friends, I'm not always the sharpest knife in the drawer. Ooh, that's cute. I love that. And this one's fun. Oh yeah, I really like these a lot. I bought them more because they were vintage, but now that I really go through them, oh, I like that. That's super cute. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna have some fun with those. So then what I thought I would do is, I have some of these old tins from Cavallini. I used to buy a ton of, I think that's how you say it, Cavallini and Co. This stuff that they do is amazing, but it's gotten very, very expensive, I have to say. And with the exchange with the Canadian dollar, it's super duper expensive. Okay, but I love these tins, so I thought what I might do is, just to keep them separate, I would put this pile in this tin. Who doesn't love old tins, right? And you know me in organizing. I love to put stuff in stuff. Makes me happy. Lights up my brain and my soul. Okay, so put those there for now, because I don't know if I'll get to these, to be honest, but I did want to open up the packages and go through them with you. Okay, so let's get started with a few things. Is this straight? Yes, there we go. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything on the cover right away. I thought what we would kind of do is go through some of what I have here to use as pockets. Not pockets, tuck spots. More like tuck spots, I think. See, I really like, how the color of her dress, make sure I'm in here. I like how the color of her dress matches the green in the back. But I have to say, I feel like it's a little washed out. However, let's see what she looks like. She pops out a lot more there, doesn't she? This is a toughie. So, all right, let's just get into this. So then what I would do as well, so I would take something like this. So I've got this paper that I've printed off. So then, I was going to say, if it was me, but it is me, so I would play with this. I would want to put a giant journaling card in behind her of some sort, because you guys know that I hate my handwriting, and I love putting big cards like this so that I can journal on the back and you don't see it, or I don't see it. So then I would look at this and I'd be like, okay, so I like how this looks, but if I stick this paper behind her, I feel like she's a little bit washed out with this paper. So let's see, we've got some other options here. That's not so bad. But this, let's see. And I do like having these little tuck spots on the paper, the scrapbook paper that's a little bit more busy or pretty, or something that I don't really want to cover up permanently. I like the idea that I can put the journal card there, still see the paper behind it, see how the colors complement each other, but it's not completely covered up. Now let's see, what else have we got here? Again, with my numbers. Oh, I don't mind that. Because some of the peachy oranges in here get picked up in these presents. And here we have my favorite, which is numbers. That is a definite contender. So then, no, that's too much of the same color. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. I think I'm leaning more towards that. Now we've got this digital paper. So this came from Etsy. This digital paper came from Etsy. I like it, but this all blends to me. You're going to be like, well, hello, that blends too. It's true, it does. But for some reason, I think it's because the white outline around her provides more of a contrast against the green. Okay, let's continue on. Don't mind that. Although I would say if I put that there, so then I would be more apt to be like, I would want, oh, I like that. Oh, that's kind of fun because then you just get the tree that peeks out there and you don't know about the wonderful surprise. Oh, then you got the kitties. Yeah, I like that. Let's see, how do I feel about, okay. All right, let's commit. So I'm gonna get my two-way tape. So let's just put this here. Now sometimes what I do as well, actually I'll do this very quickly on this one. I like to put a little piece of cardstock in here to help keep this from tipping out too much. Like it just gives it a little bit of extra stability. So let me take, I find it really does help. So what I'm gonna just do is, let's cut. And of course you can't see it, so it doesn't have to be pretty. Okay, so then now we'll just glue this on here. And you know, it's not like, sometimes I guess I'm overthinking some of this stuff, but I like a good structure. I don't know how else to say it. I like knowing that things are secure and solid and they're not going to get all bent. And like I've said before in other videos, I'm a gold medal overthinker. I've just learned to make peace with it. For a long time, I was like, you have to stop doing this. And then one day I just thought, you know, life will be a lot easier for me if I just decide to make peace with the fact that I like to overthink things. There's something about it. I just find comfort in it. I don't really know how else to explain it. You know, like I try and be aware of it, or much more aware of it, whereas before I wasn't. And I think that's part of the trick, is just to understand that I'm doing it, and then on top of that, to make sure that I don't really let it hold me back. So the deal I've sort of made with myself is that I can overthink things as long as it doesn't keep me from doing other things. You know, like it's making a truce with myself. I'm like, okay, you can do this, you can have this habit, but... And so far, I have to say, it's worked out pretty good. I'm much more aware of it than I used to be, especially when it comes to crafting. And because we've talked about this before, as somebody who used to be a professional seamstress, everything had to be perfect. And so I understand that the overthinking can come from this sense of perfectionism that was required of me on a professional level, right? Yeah, see, I like that because it just is going to be a little bit more solid. So yeah, so it's, you know, perfectionism has its place, so to speak. Like when you're making things for other people and you want things to look nice, then it's good that you're very precise and very on top of everything being just so. But it can cause enormous problems in other areas of our lives, right? Okay, so we pretty much... Okay, so what I'm going to also do is I'm going to cut this, or I'm going to rip this, because that's why I printed off these papers, was so that I could make these giant... that's a little bit too big. But let's not be hasty. So we talked about... Oh, I do like that. But I think, again... Let's see. I think this is... Yeah, it's a little bit too wide. So I hope everybody, all my American friends, I hope that you had a lovely Thanksgiving and that you've recovered. What always kills me about holidays like that is the enormous amount of work that goes into the preparation. Everything from, especially if you're having people come over, you gotta clean. And you gotta clean in places, well, I was gonna say you don't have to, but most people do. You clean, and you clean in the places that you never would normally clean. Because what if somebody looks there? Right? So you gotta clean. You gotta vacuum. You've gotta dust. You've gotta wash stuff. And that's even before you get to the kitchen and you start cooking. And it's an enormous amount of work and time and energy. And then, you know, you sit down to the table, and even if you eat slow, take your time, dinner's over in an hour, right? You're like, wow, that was a lot of work for a very short period of time. Okay, I like this. I like this a lot. So now let's take... Do we go with the 24th right away? No, probably not. I should wait. Not that this is going to be in any kind of chronological order, but I think I want some sort of red. Ooh, yeah, like this. I like this. You know what? That might be the first page pretty much done and dusted, because then I don't want to put anything else behind here. She said famous last words. Ooh, I could do something like that. Hang on, I've got a bigger... here, this one. This is what I'm looking for. Oh, see that Mary just kind of... If I don't shove it right down... Oh, I like that. Let's do this. Okay, now, what I do want to do... So we're gonna glue that up at the top. So let's do that. Now, I know that inking inking can be a little bit controversial. Some people ink everything. Some people don't ink at all. I sort of fall somewhere in the middle, I have to say. There's some things that I like, this, which to me just looks like, because it's a vintage looking ticket, that it looks like it should have some inked edges. Now I'm using forest moss, and I really do like using this green for Christmas time. I do have some other greens. Bundled sage, but I find this a bit light for Christmas. Obviously, there's a huge difference we're going to work with. I'm not going to ink this, and I'm not going to ink this. I might leave it, and then maybe later I'll ink it, but for now, I'm just going to leave it. So yeah, so you do all the work, you clean, you do your laundry, You get all the dust bunnies out from underneath all of the furniture and underneath the hutch and the cabinets. You get out your fancy tablecloths. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. And then, if you're having people over, if you're anything like me, then you feel like you need to wash the kitchen floor. You gotta, right? And then the cooking. The cooking takes, I'm not a great cook. I'm an okay cook. So I find that my husband Miloš does a lot of the cooking, and then I get to be very good at cleaning up and doing the dishes, which I think is only fair. Okay, those two are going to go there. I kind of wanted to put, I don't know if I have, do I have stickers? You guys are like, I don't know. Do you? I don't know. I feel the need to put something up here, but maybe that'll be another tab. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This, I want to make a... This is going to stick out. So I want this to be red. I want to create a little red reinforcement eyelet thing here. So let's get out. This is my 1/2 inch hole punch. And I think this will be big enough. So let me do that. I don't know. I don't have a 3/4 inch. Oh, that's going to have to work. I do not have a 3/4 inch hole punch. You know, the rational side of me was like, you have a 1/2 inch and you have a 1 inch. You do not need a 3/4 inch hole punch. Then it's times like this where I'm like, I could really use one. Okay, so let's stick that there. Let that dry. Okay, not the sharpest of scissors in the world. Okay, now we'll get here. Eyeball it, hopefully just right. Woo! There you go. Okay. I love having little bits of string peek out from my pockets and tuck spots as well. I don't know what it is, but there's something about these, I have to say, I'm really liking this. The only thing to me, I feel like this corner is a little bit naked. So the question is, do I want... Ooh. Yes, please. Now, that's not very wide. What I like to do, if I have a tab like this that's blank on the one side, is get something like one of these Tim Holtz number stamps and stamp the edge so that the edge that pokes out isn't blank. So this is the classic Tim Holtz black soot. Oops. So let's just stamp like that. Oops, I don't know what it is. It's just one of those little isms again. So when I have this, I just like to see the numbers sort of poking out there a little bit on that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my 2A tape. Oops, that's ½ an hour. I think we're about ½ an hour-ish. I just wanted to set the clock to give me... So this isn't a 6-hour video. This might be a little wide. So I have 8-inch 2A tape. So let's do that. I cannot, like I said, I cannot believe that it's December this week. I don't have a ton of people to shop for Christmas. We've really kind of cut back on that kind of thing. But I do send out an enormous amount of cards. And there. See, I like that. I just like that little bit of a detail. Then it's just not, it doesn't seem empty to me, you know. So, but yeah, I was thinking today, I was like, I guess if I I better start Christmas shopping. Hang on. Let's see this little piece here. Oh yeah, that'll work. That'll work. I'll just trim this a little bit. Okay, and then we'll just put those into place. Voila. Oops. Voila. Very simple. But here now I have 3 great places for hidden journaling, right? One of the things that I would like to do in 2024 is definitely improve my handwriting, and learn a little bit of calligraphy. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I think that the two really do go hand in hand, because I would be learning a new way of writing and creating letters. My problem, part of the problem with my handwriting is that I'm in a hurry. You know, story of my life. That's a whole other video, a whole other conversation. But I'm always in a hurry. I feel like there's just not enough time. Even when I'm writing a letter, I feel like I have to be in a hurry, and it makes me crazy. But I know that's part of the reason why it looks so terrible and like awful. And I find that not only does my handwriting change in size when I'm writing, so it'll start off a little bit smaller, and then it gets bigger, and it gets bigger, and it gets bigger, and of course I'm writing on a slant. And then I find that the way, sometimes even the shape of my handwriting changes. Like it'll go from being sort of nice and round and fluffy, then the next thing you know, it's kind of pointy and sharp, and it's sort of strange. I feel like I have some sort of, almost like a double personality. You know, I start off writing with one personality, and then by the time I finish the letter, the handwriting looks totally different, and I feel like I've been taken over by another personality. It's very strange. I don't know how to describe it exactly. And I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but let me know if you do the same thing. I mean, of course, we all sort of tend to write on a bit of an angle if we don't have the lines, but it makes me really crazy that I start off, my handwriting looks one way, and by the time that I'm done, seriously, it looks totally different. And my friend Katrine says part of the problem is I'm a heavy writer, and I press really hard on the paper, which I never really thought about until she pointed that out to me. She's like, yeah, it's sort of messy because I need to have a lighter touch, which I thought maybe a fountain pen might actually help with that problem. But I don't know. I think I really would like to learn how to write with a fountain pen. I think that would be a lot of fun. But it would be another craft supply to purchase. And we all know about me and my purchasing things, and then they go missing. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is, what I might do is create, because obviously, hello, blank page. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to put some two-way tape on this. So let's rip this. So what I'm very sort of in my mind, I was going to say very quickly thinking, two-way tape here. So then I could put paper underneath here for hidden journaling. And then maybe take one of these kitties and then two-way tape on here, right? And then do some layering. Why can't I can never say layer. Layering. It sounds like Larry with an ing. Layering. I told you I was in one of those moods today. Okay, let's just do that. Let me get out my thicker two-way tape here. Put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, okay, I think this is going to be great. So then I would take, no, that's too busy, but you see where I'm going with this, right? So these kitties, are these the kitties that we want against this plaid? What's this like? Oh, I like that better because it's a little bit darker. I like the contrast with this green, this dark, and against here. And then that, so, because this is nice, but chances are I'm going to put something lighter in behind it, and then we're going to end up with a lot of layering of light colors. But if I go like this, then I've got, again, the contrast of the darkness behind the kitty really pulling out then the crispness of the white and the red. And then in turn, the red of the snowflake, let's say, really pulls out the red in the kitty's cap and the red in the bulbs. So let's do that. That's fun. I think, again, what I will do, though, is I'm going to just glue a strip because I would prefer that this didn't curl up like this. And I do find that when I'm printing cardstock with quite a bit of color, it wants to curl in on itself sometimes. So let's just quickly put in an old piece of cardstock here, left over from another project. Doodly doot, just like that. And then, where's my... So I was hanging out with my neighbor Bob today. He's 90. He's going to be 91 in February. And we've been neighbors for almost 10 years. And I think the world of Bob. And he is full of stories. Oh my God, the man is a hoot. And I always say I wish I'd known him when he was in his when he was like in his 40s. He has, I mean, it's just his stories. He was a traveling salesman. And he curled for years and years, and he lawn bowls, and he's, you know, he just has these really fun stories, as old people do. And I could listen to him talk forever. So I usually go over there on a Wednesday afternoon, and I'm always there for at least 3 hours, but again, it feels like I'm there for half an hour. I'm like, Bob, I gotta go. You have to have dinner. He's like, are you sure you don't want some wine? And I'm like, no, Bob, I can't be day drinking with my 90-year-old neighbor in the middle of the day. Yeah. Okay, so let's put this here. And just let a little bit of that plaid poke out there. So yeah, let's use... Is that going to poke out enough, or do we want it to be... I'm thinking this. So just about here. So we have some plaid sticking out the side. And then I'm going to... There. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I like that a lot. That looks great. Again, super simple, but really effective. And you don't have to have printed paper. You could do this with regular scrapbook paper, or any paper for that matter, right? But it does need a bit of a tab at the top, so let's quickly, and then what we'll do is I'll do one more page, and then that'll probably be it for the day, because I think I'm already at, oh my god, am I at 50 minutes already? Oh, jeez. Ah, hurry, hurry, hurry. Nope. Although, no, that's too big. But, my friends, oh yeah, I like that. And then maybe we'll do today's date. How about that? And then I can be like, hey, I did this with you guys. Let's do that. November, what's today? The 29th. The 29th. Okay, so let's... There we go. I've been trying to think of what my word of the year is going to be for 2024. And I'm kind of struggling this year. I kind of have some ideas, but I'm not really, I don't know. I always feel like my word of the year needs to be something that's really exciting and dynamic. You know, like in the past I've had words have been like transformation and, you know, emancipation and all that kind of thing. And I feel like, oh, this word really needs to be something that is just really super duper inspirational. Now what I might do, I kind of like the idea of this being here, because we're going to have this paper clip like this to hold in that, and then this. Oh, that's super cute. Let's do that. So then just I think what I'll do here is I have some graph paper, and I really do like writing on graphed paper. This is just cheapy graph paper that I got on Amazon. And then, yeah, see, I would just tuck it in like that. Could even probably get a couple of sheets for on those days where I really have a lot to say. Yeah, something like that. So again, or even more, really. So if for some reason I needed a lot of journaling space, there's a lot of hidden journaling there. Hidden journaling there. Perfect. That's perfect. Okay, let's do the other one. We'll do this side, and then I'm going to call it a day. Otherwise, you and I are going to be here until December the 1st. So yeah, so my word of the year, I've talked about this in other videos where I feel like, and actually I did mention earlier about, you know, always being in a rush, being in a hurry, hurry, not enough time. Which on some level there isn't enough time. But then on the other hand, I think, well, you can't make more time. Oh, what do we think? That's a possibility. What else do we got here? Oh, no. This red isn't right for these reds. But this red in her skirt and the reds in the berries do match well for these reds. The red in the plaid. So I think it might have to be that, because these other reds, let's see, this is... No, I gotta say, I like that. Here we have a kitty. No, this, it's gotta be this. So let's not second guess ourselves too much. Okay, I'm gonna put a strip across there. Oh, that works. So, you know, this idea that we're all seemingly chasing trying to figure out how to cut corners and how to make more time, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make more time. And time is one of our greatest commodities. And I will say that as I sit and talk to my neighbor Bob, and I watch him and I look at him and I think about the fact that he's almost 91 years old, it makes me reflect on how I'm spending my time, what I'm prioritizing with my time, because we all have a limited amount of time. Like, I don't mean to be doom and gloom, but, you know, that's the reality of it. And one of the things that strikes me a lot with Bob is that the stories that he really likes to tell me are the stories that have great memory and meaning for him. And he's always talking about people, of course, that I will never know, because these are friends that he had a very long time ago. And most of them have passed. But it makes me think about what I'm doing with my time, and am I creating the kind of memories that I want to create, and am I spending enough time with the people that I love and who love me back, and, you know, this idea that I'm always in a hurry, and what am I rushing around for? Like, you know, I ask myself this a lot. What am I rushing around for? You know, there's the obvious thing. We have deadlines. There's things that need to be done. There's things that need to be taken care of. Sure. But so many other times, I'm just like, hurry, 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 hurry. So anyways, I've been thinking about maybe my word for the year should be something about relax. But then I'm like, relax doesn't sound as inspiring as some of these other very motivational words, you know? Like when you think transition, transformation, emancipation, you think, ooh, you know, I'm going to create this whole other life for myself, and I'm going to, you know, improve upon all these aspects of myself. Hang on. And then they sound very profound and important, and then my word is like, relax. So I gotta get out a thesaurus, but I think in the interest of trying to reach a greater peace of mind, my word for 2024 really should have something to do, it should be about slowing down, being more calm, less frenzied, less chaotic, both in my thought process and in my day, pardon me, the way, even though, like we talked about this in the video where we talk about journaling with the difficult feelings, like even how I hold my body. I'm a clencher. I'm a stomach clencher, right? And I don't want to be like that. Okay, so we've used those snowflakes. So let's see, what do we got here? So we're kind of, oh no, that's terrible. Let's see. I think that this cream, this is going to pose a little bit of a challenge, but let's see, what else did I print out here? It's not too bad. I don't love it. Oh. No, too much yellow. Too much yellow. Ooh, I think I've created a bit of a... I don't mind this. I really like the red of these poinsettias. Okay, let's tear this side. I think that's good. I don't think... No, that's too much orange and too much yellow. I know I'm covering up quite a bit of this back page, but I think that's okay. Let me just get a paper clip on here to hold this down for a second. Yeah, you know what? I think that's good. I like that. The thing is with these sheets, I don't I don't necessarily want to be a one-trick pony where I'm just putting big sheets and, you know. But I find them incredibly helpful. Now let's see. What we could maybe do is then I could do something. Oh, that's kind of fun. Except I'm really covering up. Oh, you know what? I don't mind that. Actually, I quite like that. Yeah, I think that's got this page. Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot faster than I thought. I would want a bigger paper clip, but I like this because my reds don't, even though this red is quite different from this red, it all seems to come together all right. There isn't a lot of clashing of the reds, and this cream color in here is sort of working with this cream color on the back here. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. So I do want to put, so let's put a little tab up there. That'll do it. I like that. That's good. I have a few of these, so we'll use this more than once. Just for fun, let's just give that a little bit of this. And while I've got this out, let me just do this quickly. So, yeah, I think I will get back to you guys on my word for 2024. I'm curious if any of you like to come up with words for the following year. I do find the one thing I need to, I tend to get very super enthusiastic and excited about my word, and it'll fit for the beginning of the year, but often by the time I get to April or May, then I'm kind of like, I don't know if this word is really going to work out for all the 12 months. You know, like, but then I think, okay, well, that's okay, because it's all supposed to be about the process, right? It's supposed to be about making positive changes and making changes that are helpful and healthy for us, that help promote better habits, you know, get rid of outdated, this is my big thing, getting rid of outdated beliefs about ourselves, getting rid of outdated conversations that we have in our heads, and the things that we say to ourselves that we not only don't need to say, but things that just don't apply. You know, like I was saying earlier about making peace with the fact that I tend to overthink things. And so I'm like, so I overthink some things. You know, that's just me. I just make peace with that part of myself, right? And so by the time you get to the middle of the year, hopefully you've worked on those things with the word that you've chosen. And then you think, okay, well, now I can come up with a new word, something that is maybe going to fit a little bit better with where you are and tackling the issues that you want to tackle. Okay, my friends, I think that's got it. That's good. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. There we go. So then we've got the journaling, of course, underneath. And then what I might do, now that I've got this all in here, what I might do, I don't know if I have one here. I was going to say I would, because I'm not super crazy, here, I'm not super crazy about this paper, I would be tempted to put in a sticker on the back there. So I would journal there. Maybe put in some photos. Like here, I found this photo of my, well, it's a copy of my granny. This is Isla in Isla and Alice. So Isla is my mom's mom, and Alice is my dad's mom. That's why my business is called Isla and Alice, because I named them after my grannies. So I think if I, whoops, if I get this, you can see she's got a chipmunk on her shoulder, and she's feeding him peanuts. And my granny and grandpa used to love to go camping. And Yeah, so my grandfather caught this photo, or took this photo. I think this would have been in the 70s. Anyways, that's Isla. That's my granny. I miss her very much. But yeah, I would put photos or something like that. Glue some stuff in here. Maybe some pictures of the books that I'm reading, because I like to take quick pictures of the books that I'm reading and then print them out so then I remember. Because sometimes my brain is like Swiss cheese. So yeah, so we'd have that underneath, then obviously the journaling on the back, and I would journal or glue some photos on the back there. That's great. There you have it. Okay. Ta-da! 2-3 pages done. There's room to put something up there. Ooh, yeah, I really like this. This is great. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out with me and listening to me babble on about God knows what. And I think Goldilocks has finally found the journal to make her happy for the next few weeks. So that is a very good thing. So, I had a lot of fun. Thank you for hanging out and spending this time and creating with me. If you like this video, please give it a little thumbs up. And until the next video, you know what I always say, speak kindly to yourselves. And I really do mean that. Speak kindly to yourselves. Be aware of the things and the tone and how we treat and talk to ourselves, especially as we're coming up to a very, very busy and emotionally intense time of the year. Happy journaling. And until the next video, I will see you soon. Or I will talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye, everybody.